How's it going, guys? David here from PhoneBuff.com, and in this video I'm doing a speed comparison test between the Google Chrome browser found on the Nexus 7 and the Safari browser found on the 3rd generation iPad. So I did clear out the browsing history on both devices, and they're both connected to the same Wi-Fi network. I actually did a fresh boot on both devices as well, so it's going to be nice and fair. I'm going to go ahead and open up both browsers. You could see that I am running no other applications in the background, so again, it's going to be as fair as possible. Now, something to note, I am leaving on the preloading feature for the Google Chrome browser on, so you can see preload web pages is always on. Basically what that does is it loads up the website as I'm like typing it in, and then when I hit go, it's gonna be like halfway loaded almost, or maybe even fully loaded. But the reason why I'm leaving it on in this case is because in my other video comparing the two devices, I left it off, and a lot of you guys were complaining about, saying that's an advantage that Google Chrome has. By taking it away, it's unfair. I feel like it was unfair by leaving it on, but nonetheless, we're gonna do this video anyway to see what the difference is. Now, to make it a little bit fair though, I'm gonna only type in about half the domains here first, and then on the iPad, and then for the other half, I'm gonna type it first on the iPad, and then on the Nexus 7, so that way it isn't too much of a big advantage. So, first website, we'll go ahead and do PhoneBuff.com, so we'll enter it on the Nexus 7 first. All right, 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, the Nexus 7 is done loading, and the iPad is still loading it, and there you go, the iPad is done. Let's go ahead and tap on an article really quick, so that way we could, test another web page. Now this one, the preloading isn't gonna be an advantage for the Nexus 7 because it doesn't know which article I'm gonna actually tap on. So we're gonna tap on the Apple removes YouTube app from iOS 6. So 1, 2, 3. See the content first on the iPad, followed by the Nexus 7, and both of them look to be done, but if I have to give the wins to one, it's going to be the iPad because it did show the content first. Let's go ahead and tap on one more article, and we'll do the Google voice search coming to the iPhone and iPad soon. So 1, 2, 3. And again, loaded up a little bit faster on the iPad. You can see like the YouTube picture and everything was populated first compared to the Nexus 7. So far, the two web pages loaded faster on the iPad. The actual home page loaded faster on the Nexus 7. And that's mainly thanks to the preloading feature. Let's go ahead and go to another website. We'll go to Engadget. 1, 2, 3, go. So I saw the content a little faster in here, but now we got the whole web page, and it looks like it's fully loaded, just about. And the iPad's still going, and now it's about done. So let's go ahead and do a scroll test really quick, so that way you can see how it will look when you actually scroll down. So I'm gonna scroll down, pretty fast on both devices, and you can see looks pretty good actually right now. So I'll scroll up really fast on the iPad, and scroll up really fast on the Nexus 7. And so far so good. Usually, from my past experience, the Nexus 7 does show a little bit of white screen while you're scrolling, but in this case, it's actually not, so that's pretty good. We'll go ahead and tap on an article. We'll tap on this guy right over here. So find the little read more icon. So 1, 2, 3. Content showed up first on the Nexus 7. And that was a really close one. I saw the content first on here. Some of the advertisements and stuff populated first on here. So you guys can be the judge of that one. I'm not even going to call it because I didn't really get a good look at it. I'll have to rewatch it on video. So let's go ahead and go to another website. So now, since I've done two websites preloading on here, let's go ahead and type it first on the iPad and then followed by the Nexus 7. So we'll do New York Times. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Again, most of the content populated first on the Nexus 7, so we have to give the win to the Nexus 7 there. Let's go ahead and tap on an article again. So we'll do this one right over here. 1, 2, 3. And content's populating first on here. It's done. Now this guy's done. So pretty much the theme, even right there, because, just counting 1, 2, 3, it was enough of an advantage for the preloading to actually make a difference and load up the web page faster. So pretty, it's a pretty big advantage to have that preloading, and it's a nice feature, honestly. I do like it. We'll go ahead and type in another website. So we'll do we'll do L8 times, but this time I'll try to hit go right away. So we'll go ahead and type it in on the iPad first. Alright, so I hit go right away. Got the content first here. Followed over here. And it's still loading, as you guys can see, on both. Got the advertisements populated. And that one looked like it finished just about the same time. For the most part, I saw the Nexus 7 having a head start. I know at the last second this caught up. So again, I'm not too sure, but I think the win went to the Nexus 7 there. We'll go ahead and tap on an article. We'll tap on this HBO Netflix one. So 1, 2, 3. Content first here. And this one's done. And this one's finishing up, and there you go, it's done. So for the most part, it seems like with the preloading feature enabled, loading up websites is faster on here, even if I hit them at the same time. So it's pretty impressive. When I had the preloading feature off, it was actually, the opposite. The iPad with the Safari browser was winning just about every time. But now let's go ahead and do some benchmarks, because those are real world tests to see how the benchmarks look. We'll go to BrowserMark on both devices. Alright, so I'll go ahead and run the benchmark on both devices at the same time, and then I'll just kind of skip through the whole process so you guys can see the scores at the end. Alright, so the browsing benchmark is done, and you can see the Nexus 7 scored a 132,408 thanks to Google Chrome's optimizations, and the iPad's browser, the Safari browser, scored a 99,898. So definitely a higher score for the Nexus 7, and honestly I'm not too surprised, because I know the Google Chrome browser is really optimized. I even use it. I've compared the Google Chrome browser on iOS to the Safari browser on iOS, and the Google Chrome browser actually beat it out. So we'll go ahead and do another benchmark. We'll just do the HTML5 benchmark. Alright, so I'm just going to the HTML5 test website, and it'll just give us a score. So 369 for browser compatibility, and 324 for browser compatibility on the Safari browser. So again, from the benchmarks, the Nexus browser, the Google Chrome browser, scored better. And from some of the real world tests, as long as we had that preloading feature enabled, it did score, it did load those home pages faster. The actual articles and web pages loaded faster on the Safari browser. But as far as the browsers go, I have to say the better browser is the Google Chrome browser, because I've not only tested it, between these two, but also on iOS itself between Safari and Google Chrome. And again, I said Google Chrome actually outperformed it. But hardware wise, you can tell the rendering's a little bit faster on the new iPad. So you have to give the new iPad the edge there. It seems a little bit more powerful, even though this guy has a quad-core CPU. But anyway, that's pretty much it for me in this video. Hopefully, this answers the questions you guys had. As far as what difference does preloading make if you turn it off and on. But anyway, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.